See, I never saw Creator.
Oh, that's unfortunate because it's Gareth Edwards' best movie. And it's so slept on. So many, like, it's such the underdog. It's Gareth Edwards' best movie.
Wow. Speaking as someone who's seen Rogue One, I scoffed in your general direction.
I think will win is Divine Joy Randolph.
Why? I mean, she did great with but she didn't have a lot to do either.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, actor that's not here is Leonardo DiCaprio in Killers.
DiCaprio.
How did that not happen?
And you know who else? Zac Efron.
Yeah, I will very much agree with that. All right, the big one, Best Picture.
Best Picture.
What do you think, Kevin? What do you think?
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Wait. Let's. I think we should probably, now that it's 7:45, actually start discussing these movies. So, very first category.
A lot of fun.
Very first category, animated feature film.
Picture.
No, that's the very last category, Kevin.
Right.
First category is animated feature film. We got The Boy and the Heron, produced by Miyazaki. We have Elemental, Pixar's Elemental. We have Netflix's, hey, we're getting there. Netflix's Nimona. Bruh, that's not the first one. So they're in alphabetical order. They're in alphabetical order in the list. But if we did them in alphabetical order, like Best Picture would be like the third one. So we're doing them in the order that the Oscars usually does.
I've already explained this to him.
I've explained this to you, so focus.
I've explained it to you, and you decided.
Oh against. Yeah, no. This is a better way to do it, I think. Netflix's Nimona, Robot Dreams, produced by Pablo
where did you see Robot
Berger.
Dreams? Did you see Robot Dreams?
I did.
Never mind.
And then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So we have, for each category, you have what do you think will win and what do you think should win? And in the should win,
and then I did.
You can write in.
I did an honorable mention.
Oh, that's smart. Okay, Kevin, what do you think is going to win animated feature film?
Across the Spider-Verse will win.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
What probably should win, even though I haven't seen it, is The Boy and the Heron.
Oh God, Boy and the Heron was beautiful.
They always are.
Yeah, stunning animation.
So that wasn't like a wish. I still think I think Across the Spider-Verse should win, and I also wish Across the Spider-Verse will win.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Across the Spider-Verse deserves to win and likely will win. It's such a technical feat and is absolutely stunning. But on top of that is a really well told story. Yes.
Yeah, than most movies, period.
Yes, it is just a really, really good movie.
What do you think of tearing down the... Here's a twofold question. What do you think of tearing down the distinction between animated and everything else and actor, actress?
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, tear down the distinction between actor and actress. But since the Academy is 80% white and 70% male, I think that to combat inherent biases that are going to be present in a population size that has those demographics, I think splitting actor and actress is probably smart.
I think
for animated,
should continue.
Yeah.
For those same reasons.
Yeah.
I think it would put women, and I've heard different people like want to get rid of the word actress, like just call everybody actor. That's fine too. But still make them separate categories. Yeah. But I think it would actually help animated to be considered as.
I agree with that,
because they would actually have to think about how they now they're just comparing them to other animated, which is sort of an arbitrary distinction,
right? And
it's like they're a lesser class, like they can't be. Has there ever been an animated movie nominated for Best Picture?
I don't know. That's like Guillermo del Toro, said at the Oscars last year, whenever Pinocchio won, was animation is not a genre, it's a medium. And that's so true, because these are stories, and they're just really, really well told stories. And I agree that I think it would give the medium of animation greater acceptance and prestige amongst the Academy if there was not a specific category for animated. Has animated feature ever been nominated?
What are yours?
For Best Picture. I'm curious about this, though. Beauty and the Beast was the first animated film to ever be nominated for Best Picture. Up and Toy Story 3 also received Best Picture nominations. Interesting.
Oh, I remember that one. That's right. So there's no distinction. Maybe. So now forget everything I said, because there is no distinction. They don't. I think it also, they are more hesitant to nominate animated movies for Best Picture because they know there is another animated category. So I think it could hurt and help. It could hurt because, like, I never would have looked up Nimona or Robot Dreams had they not been nominated for Oscars. But then they're probably not going to get nominated for like best overall picture.
That is true. I agree with that. Robot Dreams was beautiful. I highly, highly recommend it. No dialogue. It's just,
that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's just all these characters interacting with each other, and it's a very emotional, well told, very adult kind of story told through this medium. It's really interesting. The concept, the premise,
can't say adult story.
My point is the concept and the premise, and even this artwork makes it feel juvenile, and it's not in any way. It's just a very serious and mature story that's being told.
Can't say mature. Say grown up.
Grown up.
Say grown up.
Okay. That sounds infantilizing, but whatever. Nimona.
I'm just kidding.
Was hot garbage.
No, you stick with yours. It's Blaine's favorite mature adult film of the year.
Okay, whatever. Nimona, hot garbage.
Of the many that he is. Your terms, your terminology. So.
That's true. Nimona, and I feel like people are gravitating to this for some reason. Netflix just put this out for free on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube for free.
Yeah, why don't you do it with everything? Like I started it on Netflix. I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
It just was not great. It
didn't seem great.
Very unsubtle and rushed and not funny. It just was.
Yeah, I'm again all for representation. I think that they should tell good stories that represent diverse backgrounds,
for sure,
different sexual orientations, gender identities, whatever. But if you make that the point of the story,
sure,
you sacrifice the story. Just tell a good story that represents what the world looks like, and you don't have to worry about arbitrarily. Yeah, Will, I agree. I agree with Will.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, but I think will win is definitely Spider-Verse and should win.
Will win and should win as Spider-Verse. The honorable mention, I put The Boy and the Heron, even though I've never seen it, just because I've seen so many other Studio Ghibli.
And it was good. Amazing. It was so good too.
Elemental sucked.
It was better than I thought it was going to be, but it was not great. It's one of Pixar's worst films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elemental, I can't decide which I like least, Elemental or the Good Dinosaur.
I'm so upset that it was marketed so heavily. In the marketing, they didn't emphasize the fact that it's like an immigrant story, and that's the whole
Which
story.
is, yeah, it's great. Just
That's
tell a
the
good
best
story.
aspect. Yeah, it just wasn't. Yeah, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was not good. Next is actor in a supporting role, which is super exciting. We got Sterling K. Brown as Clifford Ellison in American Fiction. Robert De Niro as William Hale in Killers of the Flower Moon. Robert Downey Jr. as Louis Strauss in Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling as Ken in Barbie. And Mark Ruffalo as Duncan Wedderburn in Poor Things. All of these. All of these, incredible.
All these are incredible.
Incredible performances.
You know who's near the bottom for me? De Niro.
Interesting. I don't know if I could disagree with that.
It's not.
But De Niro's performance.
That's not a slight against his performance.
No, not at all. Because it's incredible. It's a testament to how great all of these performances were.
Yeah.
Because,
so you go first this time.
Okay. I think will win. Very obviously, just has to be RDJ. There is so little to this performance written into the script, and he does so much with it to really, you feel the character really a lot, and it's a very dialogue heavy role, monologue heavy role. Like he's just talking a lot of the time, and that's hard to pull off, I think, and he did it very, very, very well.
Yeah, my should and wish is RDJ.
Yeah,
for Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I think I agree.
And none of these are bad. Like Will saying bad take, I guess, because of the De Niro thing. I just think he was probably the worst one out of all of these.
Yeah,
great performances.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo though was very, very, very good. Talk about like the Mark difference Ruffalo between RDJ was like did a lot with so little. Mark Ruffalo does a lot with a lot. Like there's so much fun stuff with that character, and he just really lives it so well.
One of my favorite things he did was in the trailer when she slaps him. He's like,
yeah,
he looks back at her like, ow.
His toot, his fart at the guy whenever he comes to the prison to like get him.
That's Blaine, he probably didn't actually do that, right? No? I mean, special effects.
Sure, but it was just very funny. Like it was incredible. Such a good performance, and the
Sterling K. Brown a lot. So here, like De Niro and Sterling K. Brown are like here for me.
Yeah.
Will's saying the same thing right now.
Yeah.
So I could go either way on that, just because they didn't give him a lot to do. But he did great with what they gave him to do. But they gave him like a stereotypical gay role.
I know. We'll probably talk about this whenever we get to writing. But yeah. I was frustrated by how flat Sterling K. Brown's character was in American Fiction, especially in a story that was so about making characters not one-dimensional. Yeah. But he did really well with what he had, and there were great moments that let that character shine really well.
And I put Ryan Gosling as honorable mention, not because the only small part of me that wishes he wins is I think what would happen if he wins is he gives it to Greta Gerwig or
that'd be fun. That would be fun.
Margot Robbie. That would be cool.
Blake, so Margot Robbie wasn't nominated. Me, nope. Blake, freaking crap. Yeah, I know that. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I think that would be funny for Ryan Gosling to do, but also the range of like Blade Runner 2049 to Ken in Barbie is so crazy.
Ryan Gosling is one of the greatest working actors, period. But comedic actors especially. I think comedy's stronger than his drama for me.
Yeah, and he's such a slept on comedic performer that way. Like nobody is thinking about him as funny.
Nice guy.
I have never seen that, but I've heard such good things about it.
Nobody writes buddy cop better than Shane Black. He basically invented it with Lethal Weapon. And Nice Guys is one of the best buddy comedies. So is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. RDJ and
I didn't know that either. Anyway. Ken is barely a supporting actor. Do you mean like he's more of a lead? Because Ken is a big part of that movie. He's so good in Nice Guys, our supporting character rather. He was great in that. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a lead.
I think he's great in Barbie. I do think it's
RDJ though.
Sort of tone deaf for Ken to be nominated.
It is very
Barbie not to be. And the director of the movie not to be.
Yep. That's a bigger snub for me. The whole fact that she, like Margot Robbie is nominated for probably something that is more of an influential role on the film than her performance as Barbie, which was incredible. But she's nominated for producer for Best Picture. Like it's not like she got snubbed in the way that I think Greta Gerwig did in her category. But we're going to talk about that whenever we get to director too, because I have
let's go.
RDJ I think is will and should for actor in a supporting role. Actress in a supporting role. Yeah. Do what? What'd you say?
No, I was echoing.
Oh, gotcha. Actress in a supporting role. We have Emily Blunt as Kitty Oppenheimer in Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks as Sophia in The Color Purple, America Ferrera as Gloria in Barbie, Jodie Foster as Bonnie Stoll in Naiad, and Divine Joy Randolph as Mary Lamb in The Holdovers. What do we think?
I'll go first. I think will win as Emily Blunt.
Really?
I think we'll win it. I think so. I wore one of my many Lord of the Rings shirts because I think Oppenheimer is just going to sweep a lot of it. But I think should win is Jodie freaking Foster.
Jodie freaking Foster was very, very, very good. Jodie Foster was incredible in this role. I think will win is Divine Joy Randolph.
Why? She's like the worst. I haven't even seen The Color Purple on here, but her performance is great. But out of these,
no,
I was putting her at the bottom.
Danielle Brooks is Color Purple. Divine Joy Randolph is in The Holdovers.
No, I know.
Okay,
you're the one who said that. I wasn't mixing.
I'm just saying you're the one who said Color Purple. No, America will win. Okay,
I said America has won. 1776. No, what I was saying is, even though I haven't seen The Color Purple, I think Divine Joy, who I have seen in The Holdovers, would be worse than that.
Really?
Yeah, she was like she did great with but she didn't have a lot to do either.
I don't know. Yes. The Holdovers was incredible. The Holdovers was incredible. And that film is really, really rich. And I think the emotional grounding for that film is Divine's character. Like Divine is like performs this really subtle but big performance where just defined by grief and frustration with systems and ignorance and like the whole party sequence. She was great. No,
I think the party sequence, and even before that, everything you're saying is true. I just think it's also just a really good year for performances, movies in general. So it's hard.
Yeah.
I don't think she was bad. I just think
all
the ones I do know, it was probably my least favorite.
I think I don't know why America Ferrera was incredible in this movie. I don't really know why she's here. It feels like there were so many other performances.
I think she's my honorable mention, but it's because she has that monologue that everybody.
Yeah, it is very good.
It's like if every movie put in a monologue telling everybody what your movie's about.
Right.
Which is great. I loved it. I'm there for it, but that's
unsubtle.
I think that's why.
Yeah, I think
You out there sitting in these theater seats.
I think my should win is probably Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster and Annette Bening in Nyad are the really only reason why that film is incredible. And Jodie Foster
and also, the real life story that it's based on.
That's true. Jodie Foster just put her entire, and this is really, I feel like, outside of her wheelhouse. It's a really physical performance for her. And I haven't seen her do that very often. It was great from her. It was very, very, very good. I'm very close between Divine Joy Randolph and Jodie Foster. I think that Divine Joy Randolph really, really was fantastic.
You think Divine Joy is going to win?
I think Divine Joy is going to win. That's who I'm selecting as will win, is Divine Joy Randolph. Because...
What do you think about Emily Blunt?
I think Emily Blunt was really great. I don't know why America's Here. I almost want to put Emily Blunt. The British.
407 years ago, our forefathers put forth on this topic.
I kind of think Emily Blunt goes next. I don't know why America's Here. And then Emily Blunt was incredible in Oppenheimer. I just think there were so many other performances that...
So I haven't seen The Color Purple, but America Ferrera was my honorable mention. So for me, it goes Emily Blunt 1 is what I think is going to happen. I think Jodie Foster should be 1, and then I think America Ferrera is after that for me.
Interesting. Yeah. I think there's something also really performative about voting for Divine Joy in a really cynical way. I think the Oscar is going to go for Divine Joy for those reasons as well. But also
Monster 123 Gamey.
Monster he's found the stream one day and has been tuning in. This is pretty different from the kind of content that we're usually putting out.
Should I not put this label on?
Oh yeah, that's true. We might have to pay for that.
Oh really?
No.
Pay for free advertising?
You're crazy. But technically the brand is the intellectual property of that business, and films do get sued for putting brands on camera.
Only when they're drinking, like, oh man, this sucks, and they throw it.
I can get behind Jodie Foster. She and Annette were amazing. Jodie should and will just overall not my favorite, maybe because I fell asleep. Bro, is making you hungry.
Not your favorite if you fell asleep. If you've never even seen the rest of the movie.
Okay, that's actress in supporting. Next is a category that you are going to be more educated on me than documentary feature, which some of these documentaries look incredible. And I did not see any one of them.
It's going to be tough. So
we got
again, my will and
I have to read them first.
Okay, yeah, let's take longer.
Unless the movie is built around a Pepsi product placement. Bobby Wine, the people's president. The Eternal Memory.
Brought to you by Bobby Wine's Wine.
The Eternal Memory. 4 Daughters. To Kill a Tiger, and 20 Days in Mariupol. Oh my Lord. The trailer for this. Oh my Lord.
Did you not see it?
No, I haven't seen any of these, and I really want to.
I don't think I've cried ever in a movie more.
Oh, good God. It looks rough. So what do you think? Think?
I mean, I think 20 Days in Mariupol is what will and should win.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, I haven't seen To Kill a Tiger or 4 Daughters. 4 Daughters looks insane. Did you see the premise of it? The 2 daughters are still living, 2 daughters are dead, and they get 2 actresses that look like it's interspersed between real life documentary shots and them acting out scenes from their lives.
What? Sorry, Chloe just walked in the door. Cassie threw up earlier. That's why it smells kind of stinky.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
And Chloe walked in the door.
What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about dog vomit.
Where is Madam Webb? Gary says. Anyways, you were talking about why 4 Daughters is an incredible documentary.
Yeah. No, let's talk more about the consistency and frequency of your dog's vomit. And And then To Kill a Tiger is apparently, I've only seen the trailer, but it's about trying to get justice for a sexual predator in India.
Whoa. Yikes.
No, against a sexual predator, not for it. But so yeah, those are probably going to be tough too. So Bobby Wine was really good. It's just not, and the story is compelling. It's just not how they went about. I don't know. It's just not my favorite documentary. It's not my favorite style of documentary. Did you watch that one?
Eternal Memory or Bobby Wine?
No, Bobby Wine.
No, I haven't seen any of these. Out of them, the one I want to see the most is 20 Days in Mariupol and Eternal Memory. Eternal Memory looked
is
soul crushing.
I cried in that one also.
She has Alzheimer's, and it's he
has Alzheimer's.
He has Alzheimer's.
He is a he was a reporter and activist during all of this upheaval in South America, and now can't remember his whole life. Can't remember. It's like it starts with her waking him up and like telling him everything about himself, about who she is, and she like does this every day at this point.
I hate that so much.
And then every now and then, like he'll remember something that happened, but most of the time he's just like pretending that he remembers to like.
Oh my God!
Just to be able to go about his day, and then he wakes up, he doesn't know where he is, doesn't know who she is. Like it's hard.
And talk about a story like really fit for documentary, the medium of documentary. Like that's one kind of story that would be really compelling as a script, as a documentary. To watch this person, live through that experience has to be insane. So The Notebook, but the opposite. Oh my God. Okay.
Yikes.
20 Days in Mariupol.
Real people. So
you wanna give us a brief what 20 Days in Mariupol was about?
20 Days in Mariupol is the war in Ukraine. There were AP reporters. The only, I think, 2 to 3 reporters that remained in the country when all the other reporters were taken out. They were in a city on the coast that was surrounded by Russian troops. And all the stories that we saw, the story of the pictures of babies in hospitals dying, the stories of the maternity ward getting bombed, and pregnant mothers being rushed out and dying. They were the ones sending all those pictures out. There was a very specific place that they could run to under cover of like this policeman that would take them everywhere that they needed to go to get the stories out. And like all the pictures that you saw in the news of the early war in Ukraine come from this one news crew that stayed there. And it's this juxtaposition of Russia lying about what those stories are. Like they said those women were actors, and then like this guy has film. Like he stood there and filmed this woman die.
That's cool to put propaganda side by side with
and
documentary footage.
They go back to the doctors and nurses that were there after, because they're getting that real time. Once they get that, their producer tells them, "Hey, this is what Russia just said about this," and then they go and find the people who were in that hospital to show that, obviously we're not lying about this.
Wow.
But not to get political or anything. So it's insane how that whole situation has flipped for especially one specific side of folks in our country that think that you supporting Ukraine doesn't matter anymore. But anyway, it's really, you can't watch that and not at least sympathize for what they're continuing to go through. It's not a done thing,
right.
But
right. I mean this in the nicest way possible. Who is this guy? It's Kevin, not from Up. Kevin is
how do you know he's not talking about you?
That's true.
This is Blaine.
I just assumed that since he's been here, usually he knows me. This is Kevin. He's a very good friend of mine. who decided to abandon all of us and fly away to the most remotest parts of the earth, basically.
I drove, and it's not the remotest parts of the earth. I'm outside of a very populous city right now.
So that's documentary feature. Next is live action short. I haven't seen any of the shorts. Have you seen any of the shorts?
The documentary shorts or live action shorts?
Live action shorts. Live action shorts.
Okay.
I don't think documentary shorts is a category.
Let me get to my correct order. I've seen 2 of these, and I already know which one's going to win.
You're so much better than me.
Well, not because of that, but yes, you're right. So I've seen The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Right.
And The
This
Actor,
was very
they're both on Netflix.
Right.
So whoever told Wes Anderson to just do 1,000 short stories of Roald Dahl is a genius, because he's just going to get a million Oscars every year now. Who's not going to give Wes Anderson if I was a short live action filmmaker,
right.
I would be super
really upset. Yeah, you have feature category. You're already very well respected in that category. Go do your own thing over there and let us have this.
He's like, that's a nice Oscar category you have there. It'd be a shame if I made 10 movies in 1 year that qualified for it. He did all these short stories.
Yeah.
And here's it's beautiful, it's great, but it's basically just they read the short story and put film to it. So I can see why somebody would think that's that impressive, but it's very good.
Mm-hmm. It looked very good. This Red, White, and Blue looked really interesting as well, but I didn't.
Yeah, I haven't seen Red, White, and Blue. Where can you see that one?
I don't know. I just saw the trailer for it.
I tried to watch Invincible. It's on Vimeo, but it kept stalling. But yeah, I think Wonderful World of Henry Sugar is going to win. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen enough to say what should win. The After I saw is very, very good. David Oyelio is obviously the largest part of that.
Yeah. Turning text into visual media is hard. I mean, that's basically what all these are, except for the documentary films. But yeah, I don't see how in a category with these short films that no one has ever heard of or will ever see, very likely. Yeah. What's
this movie that Monster 123 Gamey is talking about?
Ever seen that short movie about the black guy that's in a time trap? Where he
keeps getting killed. That sounds intriguing. If you give me the name, I'll watch
by racist cops, no matter what he does. That does sound intriguing. What is that?
Sounds like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Or like a Black Mirror episode.
Every Black Mirror episode is a Twilight Zone episode, just so you know.
That's true. All right, here we go. The first real big category is not that any of these categories are any less significant than any other, but this is a category that I'm really excited about is cinematography. Two Distant Strangers. Two Distant Strangers is the name, by the way.
Two Distant Strangers. Okay.
El Conde.
Streaming anywhere?
Oh yeah. El Conde.
I'll let him in. That wasn't for you.
Right. El Conde is streaming places though. You can watch it on Netflix. Killers of the Flower Moon. Cinematography by Rodrigo Prieto. El Conde cinematography by Edward Lachman.
I would say
Lachman. Maestro cinematography by Matthew Libatique. Oppenheimer cinematography by Hoyt van Hoytema. And Poor Things.
Stop saying him like that.
His name is Hoyt.
These are blood and flesh.
Poor Things cinematography by Robbie Ryan. We're just gonna mute these sound effects, buddies.
I can't hear them at all.
I know they're very loud for right now for me. And
which ones are they doing?
A little intrusive. It's not a sound effect. It was it's a text. It's an alert whenever they redeem channel points. Monster is a big fan of redeeming hydrate, so I will hydrate myself.
Does chocolate shake count? Because that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, it's hydration. El Conde's cinematography is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Right.
Bad movie.
The rest of the movie, not great.
Not great. Absolutely stunning cinematography.
I love black and white movies. I love modern black and white movies.
Yeah. I really liked Maestro's cinematography. There's a lot of really beautiful...
a large part of it black and white.
Yeah. A lot of really beautiful black and white photography, but also like 16 millimeter photography. Like there's that whole period where they do a lot of 16 millimeter stuff. Whenever like the kids are like teenagers or whatever. And it just was unbelievably beautiful. I really appreciated Maestro's.
Speaking of snubs, Maya Hawke, Maestro, supporting actress.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know how. Insane. Jaden says, hi, Kevin. I personally was completely uninterested in that movie. As for what will win, I mean, it has to be Oppenheimer, I think.
Jaden!
Oppenheimer was really stunning cinematography, was really kind of in your face, more like, I think you're noticing the cinematography a lot whenever you're watching this movie. Poor Things was also really, really incredible cinematography. I wouldn't be surprised if Poor Things won.
I wouldn't be surprised if Poor Things won.
And Killers was really incredible cinematography. I think my should win is not any of these. My should win is going to be an Other.
Ooh.
It's going to be Past Lives. I don't know how Past Lives did not get nominated for cinematography.
Amen.
But unbelievable cinematography from a director who's like never directed before. Like unbelievable.
Yeah. Every shot means something, and especially the wide shots are all intentional.
So
they're doing
composed.
something every time that talks about their relationship every time. Every time one of them is in one side of the frame.
The sequence where they're talking
and the architecture that they incorporate.
That
happens in every three of their meetings. Yeah.
Yes. The shot choice whenever they're doing the conversation through the laptop and she's like breaking up with him basically, and all of a sudden we don't get over the shoulders anymore and we don't see the other person on the laptop screen. We only get those profiles and we just hear the person on the laptop screen. We can't see them. Is really beautiful choices. But yeah, the landscape architecture shots of like New York and Seoul, oh my Lord, that movie was stunning, and I cannot believe it didn't get nominated.
You know what else should be there for the same reason is Perfect Days.
I know. I haven't seen that one, but I want to see that almost entirely for the cinematography. It looks stunning.
It's shot in 133:1.
Yeah.
Which also, I think, is, I mean, it's not spoiler for the movie. Like, he's very interested in old mediums. Like, he has cassette tapes, and they make this big play on how cassette tapes are getting more popular, but that's just all he has. And he like reads one book at a time and then goes to like a thrift bookstore and buys another one. That's just like this very simplistic way of living. Yeah. But anyway, I think that's the reason why it's shot in what would technically be full screen. Like your TV used to look in the 80s.
Yeah, it is it's a very square format. But also the 4:3 aspect ratio gives it such like stability. Like it gives you you can make very square, solid compositions in the 4:3 aspect ratio. Sergio Ozu is a Japanese director from the 1940s who was notorious for using Japanese architecture in a 4:3 aspect ratio to make really recursive compositions that are just squares within squares within squares. He just did it really, really well. And Past Lives was really informed, I think, by a lot of that cinematography style, but also Perfect Days looks very informed by Ozu's like kind of cinematographic style. But I think
let's talk about the ones
that were actually nominated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Oppenheimer is going to take it. I can see Killers taking it.
My real win is Oppenheimer. My should win is Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes, I can easily see Killers taking it as well. Landscape and Killers. Landscape and Killers is so well done, but like Killers, Pareto does natural light so well. It's a very kind of Deakins-esque, soft wash light that is just absolutely stunning. Big on music videos, and I think they were better back in 4.3. But yeah, I can see Killers taking it. I can see Poor Things taking it. I think Oppenheimer is probably going to take it. Makeup is next on our list. Makeup and hairstyling. We have
Blaine. Remember, we've been through this,
right? I do remember. We have Golda. Makeup and hairstyle.
You know what? I didn't see Golda.
I didn't see Golda either. But it looks good. I wish that I had. Makeup and hair by Karen Hartley Thomas. I'm not going to read all these names, but they're on the screen. Yeah, Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. What do you think, Kevin? Makeup and hair?
So I think it got so much press as being too like out there that I don't think Maestro is going to win.
Yeah. Yeah. It might look bad for the Academy.
Good. Yeah, I think he looked like Leonard Bernstein.
He looks like Leonard Bernstein, yeah.
But I also think this is one that Oppenheimer is going to win just because they had so many time periods to go through.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. especially.
Yeah.
But also, if you think about Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
That's not really what that guy looks like. I mean, they had to.
Right. Make him look like Albert Einstein.
Right. But so I think that one probably will win. Again, I think Oppenheimer's going to win most everything.
Yeah.
But what I said should win is Poor Things.
Right.
Poor Things.
100%. Poor Things is my definite choice for should. Because like the makeup and hair is like a character in and of itself. Like it really defines
the style.
Yeah, it really defines the mentality of the characters who wear it. But also like puts you into evokes like really viscerally. We're going to get to costume later, but I kind of feel similarly about costume and Poor Things. It becomes like a manifestation of the story itself. And so I think Poor Things definitely should. And I think maybe just to be different, I'm going to say Poor Things is a little bit of the underdog here and probably will. I think probably what's more likely is Oppenheimer. But I can easily see Poor Things taking it as well. So because I think Poor Things might be a little bit of I think Oscar is going to be the sweeper, but I think Poor Things might surprise some people.
Oppenheimer
in some categories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Costume design. And like I said, Poor Things. I cannot imagine there is nothing that deserves to win more and nothing that I think is more likely.
Poor Things is my wish, but it's not my will. You know what I think will? Napoleon.
Ew.
They love those period pieces. They love to throw this one. Think about what's the last 10 things in one costume?
That's true, I guess.
But it seems like they're always like just throwing it at the ones who had to do period costumes for the whole movie. Which is fine. I think it's more work, but
I think Poor Things, I think it's way more work to invent clothing that feels period, but isn't.
I meant like on the scale of showing battlefields where there's like hundreds.
Yeah, that's true. It is a lot of labor. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I definitely think Poor Things should.
Yeah.
But
Napoleon will
somehow think Napoleon will.
Yeah, that'll be real dumb. That'll be real dumb if it does. I will be upset by that. Oppenheimer, I can easily see winning this category. I can also easily see Killers winning this category. And
I can see
Barbie. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of
the one that is least deserving, in my opinion, is Napoleon. Not necessarily because of the costume design. The costume design was really well done, but it was just a bad movie. It was ugh.
Yeah, but they don't. That's also why people voting.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like they often throw costume design at a movie like Napoleon, it seems to me.
Yeah, that will be upsetting if it wins. The Osage costume design.
Like didn't Barry Lyndon win costume design?
Did it? I don't remember. The Oppenheimer could win for the reason Napoleon would win. I agree with that. But the Osage costuming,
I do think Napoleon should win nothing. To be fair,
right?
I think it will win this one if it wins anything.
That'll be crazy.
The production design.
The Osage costume design in Killers is, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
It is
that was my honorable
stunning.
Mention. That and Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
There's another one that Oppenheimer could win too, though. Since
Oppenheimer could easily win this one. That's true.
Everything.
But I can't imagine. Poor Things, it feels to me so deserving of it. And it's so like in your face. I can easily see Poor Things taking it. A lot of because you if you're thinking about well, I guess it's not just the branch of people who do costume design voting for this category, but it was just so in your face that I think the average person would, if they're thinking about costume design and they look at all these movies, they're going to think about Poor Things pretty quickly. I didn't walk out of Napoleon, but it was a slog. It was hard to get through. It was
rough.
And you saw that the Gladiator movie is 3 times over its initial budget. That sounds. Ridley Scott's making a Gladiator sequel.
A sequel?
Yes.
About who?
At the Gladiator. I don't know. I can't remember who's in it.
Everybody in the first one dies.
I can't remember who. It's something like it's his son or something. It is somehow.
His son is dead.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know.
His whole family died.
I don't know how it works. But they're making, I'm almost positive, is new Gladiator a sequel?
Okay, let's not get distracted.
Gladiator 2 has been finally arriving. Yeah, Gladiator 2 sequel to Ridley Scott's original Gladiator. Yeah, I don't know. It seems very distressing. Ridley Scott is so hit or miss. It's really unfortunate because when he hits, oh my God. I thought the Duelist, or what is that movie? Last Duel?
The Last Duel.
That looked like hot garbage.
What?
It looked like the marketing made it look like it was going to be terrible, but then it was unbelievable good. Yeah,
it was amazing. It was one of the best movies I saw. Yeah.
Incredible. Highly recommend. But yeah, he's just hit or miss. Unfortunately,
did that come out last year?
No, it's
or the year before.
I can't remember. Okay, here we go. International feature is next. ABCDFGHI. International feature. Who do you think will? We have Io Capitano from Italy. Perfect Days submitted by Japan. Society of the Snow submitted by Spain. The Teacher's Lounge submitted by Germany. And The Zone of Interest submitted by the UK. What do you think?
So I think will win is definitely Zone of Interest.
Yeah, I can't see how that doesn't happen.
I think Wish would, and like pretty much anything Zone of Interest is nominated for, I think also should win. But on this one, I'm going to go Perfect Days should win, just because all around the beauty of the mundane. I get it's something that intrigues me anyway, but they do it so well without explicitly stating that. And they just basically follow a janitor around for a week, and it's his life. It's not like a documentary. He's an actor, obviously, but yeah, the whole concept of the shadow and light that is a part of the conversation of the movie, but also the visual makeup of the movie, and especially the last shot of the movie, I think makes it. Acting wise, storytelling wise, and once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's not like a big spoiler. I mean, it's just really. Yeah.
I do really want to see this. It looks incredible, and it looks very like a movie that would resonate with me strongly. Zone of Interest. We'll talk about it more once we get to Best Picture. But oh my God, Zone of Interest was one of the best films of the year. Like it solidly deserves its nomination for Best Picture. It solidly deserves to be the United Kingdom's submission for international feature. I can't see any of these deserving it more. Saying that should win, Perfect Days should win is, like you said, really like a wish Perfect Days, because I think that's probably going to resonate with me more on an emotional level. But Zone of Interest was.
I think Zone of Interest was the better movie. Is the best movie in this category.
The cutting edge of cinematic storytelling, like just really revolutionary. Like one of the movies most deserving of that term, revolutionary. It is just incredible. It was so good. We'll talk about that more when we get to Best Picture. Next, we got documentary short, of which I didn't watch any of these.
I watched
some of them look really good. ABC's A Book Banning. The Barber of Little Rock. Island in Between. The Last Repair Shop. I love this poster, by the way. And Nine Eye and Waipaw. All of these look really great. I haven't watched any of them. I wish that I had.
I've seen all of these.
I hate you. Stop being better than me. How was Last Repair Shop? That looked really good.
The Last Repair Shop will win. Most definitely. If Last Repair Shop doesn't win, I will eat several hats.
Ooh. Interesting.
But it's technically the last school district. LA Unified or United School District is the last one that repairs instruments for band students.
Whoa.
Like for free to the cost. I mean, obviously taxes pay for it, but to the cost of the family is for free. They don't have to go and spend a bunch of money on an instrument just so their student can have access to the arts.
Yeah.
So the Last Repair Shop tells stories of how people got involved in working in that repair shop, like their story of, sometimes it's a story of coming from nothing and getting a good job that could support their family. Sometimes it's a story of, like, there's professional musicians that work there. Sometimes it's a story of acceptance of their identity and finding that identity somewhat in music. And then it tells stories of kids who've had their instruments repaired in that repair shop. And then at the end, I'm going to spoil this one.
Yeah.
It's a symphony of kids who are in the documentary, people who work in the repair shop, and former students all playing an original song. Yeah, it's great.
Whoa. That sounds incredible. I want to watch this so bad. Well, how long is it?
It's great. It's like 30 minutes. They're all like 30 minutes.
The
is like 40 minutes.
The limit for definition of a short for the Academy is 40 minutes. It has to be under 40.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds great.
I think that one will win, and that is my wish also. But if I had to pick a different wish, I'd say Barbara of Little Rock is really good. That one I think was in the New York Times or the New Yorker. Can't remember which one. LA Times did Glass Repair Shop. But Barbara of Little Rock is about about the discrepancy between where banks are being a barrier to banking for certain communities.
Whoa, that sounds good.
Yeah. And so these community banks, basically, that they start to get grants for lower income areas and actually do small business loans for people to be able to have the same resources that everybody else has. So, and that's very, very good also. I can see that winning.
Wow.
And Nyai Nyai and WIPO is just wonderful. It's
it looks very fun.
I think it's two grandmas, his two grandmas that have now lived together. So they're not they're technically in-laws of each other. I think I can't remember what their actual relationship is, but now they live together, and it's like a day in their life, and them talking to their grandson filmmaker, and it's beautiful. Whoa. But I don't think it's going to win, but it's a really good movie. I expected to like ABC's A Book Banning more, but I think unfortunately it's just so. It just wasn't new. It wasn't new to me. It's so prevalent.
Yeah.
And knowing that this is how it happens and this is what happens, that it wasn't nothing really stood out to me.
Yeah. It did look
and the Island in Between is really interesting too. Island in Between is there is an actual island between mainland China and Taiwan.
Whoa.
And so, it's really about the relationship between and this guy goes home. Yeah.
What a cool metaphor for how possibly, I'm just interpreting, but how possibly this person is thinking like a way to wrestle between moving more towards a Taiwanese ideology or moving more towards Chinese ideology. The island in between is a very interesting concept.
That one's very good too. But I think all of these are really good. I think probably my least favorite, surprisingly, is ABC's A Book Banning.
Yeah. It did look a little.
It starts with It's a 104-year-old woman going to a school board meeting saying, "My husband died in World War II, fighting the Nazis who were burning books."
Yeah,
and this is where we are now. So do better.
It looks a little. I didn't see anything kind of like you said. I didn't see anything in the trailer that wasn't something I've already seen or heard. It didn't. It felt kind of superficial, maybe that it wasn't. It just was kind of covering what's already.
It is sort of it shows a book that a certain group obviously would find controversial and why it's banned. Yeah, and it just wasn't. It wasn't particularly well done, but they did. They interviewed children, which I also. I think it's good to get their stories, but it also,
especially in this kind of sphere,
they're not old enough to have some of the opinions that they were expressing. I'll say that. I don't think
that's true, but also you're putting them in front of.
If it was just kids saying, "Hey, I like to read," and what's wrong with this book, which some of it was,
right?
Then that's I think that was impactful, but a lot of it was. I don't know. It didn't. It's not that it rang false. It's probably what the kids think, but they think that a lot of them think that because their parents think that. True. Which again, I don't even disagree with their parents, but it seemed sort of reaching to have the kids just say it. Yeah. I mean, they could have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was going to sneeze. I really want to watch. All of those sound really incredible and don't seem like just not a big time investment. I wish that I had seen them. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to them before the actual Oscars on the 10th. We just did. What do we do? Documentary short.
Documentary short. Yeah.
So we're going to animated short next, which
I
another
haven't
category.
seen any of these.
Yeah, I haven't
So,
seen any of these either.
let's skip it. We haven't seen those.
Yeah, we can skip it. Even though some of them looked really interesting. This pachyderm looked
You can't find
really
any of
beautiful.
them. Oh,
I know,
no,
they're hard
I
to...
did see. I think I saw War is Over.
And?
Maybe I just saw the trailer. I don't know. It was only like 5 minutes long. Are they supposed to be like 15 minutes long?
I don't know.
I mean,
you can do a show in 5 minutes.
I mean, it was good.
We can skip it, especially if neither of us have seen any of them. And then we got next is production design, which there just also has to be a very clear winner here. Everything is so hard to find these days. We got Barbie. Oh, this is such a hard category, though. We had Barbie for production design, Killers of the Flower Moon for production design, Napoleon for production design, Oppenheimer, and then Poor Things. Which how could this not win? And how can anybody say that it should not win production design? Like, it just is such a really big thing to take, and you're creating a world that's really foreign, that's new and alien, but familiar and historical at the same time. Just really, really, really imaginative and well executed. And there's tons of locations in this that have to be designed and made and shot. Like this is a huge movie for production design, and a huge, just a monumental accomplishment on behalf of these people working in production design. I can easily,
it's my will and should.
Yeah.
But also kind of my should is Napoleon.
Ew.
The battles of Napoleon are some of the best. It's like what everybody says about Cold Mountain. The Civil War battles are some of the most realistic depictions of Civil War battles on film. And I think that's probably the same of Napoleonic Europe.
I agree that probably the production design is the best aspect of this movie. But I don't know. I think you have to weigh the I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should be more pure about it, of being like, what you're judging here is the production design, and so you shouldn't weigh at all the quality of the storytelling. But storytelling production design can tell story. Barbie does that really well.
I think the worst movie that you saw this year could have the best production.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Barbie's production design tells story of the world's feeling really, really different. Immediately invoking a very changed atmosphere.
Yeah, I see Barbie winning.
It gets very abstract at the end as well. It was very, very well. I can easily see Barbie winning this as well.
Also, Oppenheimer. This is probably the hardest one for me to decide who will win. Yeah. I put Poor Things as who will win them.
Yeah. I agree with that. It might be Barbie or Oppenheimer just because they're better known probably than Poor Things. But I think any member of the Academy would be familiar with this, and most have probably seen it. So it's not like Poor Things is some underdog that few people have heard of. But I mean, Barbie and Oppenheimer were bigger, and so I can see those winning as well. Killers as well. Oh my God. All of these movies, this is the hardest category, I think, because you are right that Napoleon had the production design is probably the best aspect of this movie. Because Napoleon's production design was beautiful and incredible, and I mean, I'm not a historian, but you felt the historicity. No, I'm not. You felt the historicity of Napoleon's production design, and then. Let's see. What's after production design? Kevin, I'm assuming you got a text or something because we cannot see you, but that's fine.
Oh, sorry.
No, we can still hear you.
Okay.
I was just letting you know that you're a little bunny. He is a film Orion. I like that.
I'm a what?
Film Orion. He's not a historian, a film Orion. Next.
Uh-huh.
Next is original score. What do you think?
Original score.
I'm going to read them first before you say anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to read them first. American Fiction.
Yeah, that's good idea.
American Fiction scored by Lara Karpman. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny scored by the infamous John Williams. Killers of the Flower.
You're using infamous wrong.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Amigos. The infamous El Guapo.
Killers of the
Not
Flower
just famous,
Moon.
he's infamous.
Infamous, right? Exactly. Killers of the Flower Moon, scored by Robbie Robertson. Oppenheimer, scored by Ludwig Göransson. And Poor Things,
like that.
Poor Things, scored by Jerskin Fendrix.
Just read the name like an American.
That's how he says his name, Fendrix. You rolled the D a little bit. Okay.
You say Fendrix.
Well, Fendrix. Okay.
You say Fendrix.
What do you think? What do you think? Original score.
So yeah, what I was going to say, I didn't have it in front of me, but I was like, well, you know what I'm going to say about original score is one of them is John Williams. So boom, done.
That's a good take. That is true. John Williams.
You know what I put for the other one for Wish would win? If it's not Indiana Jones, is Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, Killers was so good. Killer's score was really, really incredible. That movie is so like atmospheric that the score does so much.
Like,
yes. 100% Killers.
Honorable mention for me was Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
because it fits so well with what's happening.
It was so good. I don't know how I feel about the divorce of Nolan and Zimmer. Especially because the first product after that divorce was Tenet, but the music was one of the best things about Tenet. Yeah, and but this really demonstrated. I kind of feel like Göransson's score was incredible and beautiful in Oppenheimer. I feel like he's trying to do Zimmer. Like in a lot of ways, it feels like they're using other like Zimmer scores from other Nolan movies as Tim tracks, and Göransson is like trying to replicate the sound.
I think every Zimmer score I've ever heard is very distinct, and I don't really remember any of the melodies from Oppenheimer, but I do remember how it made me feel about what was going on. Yeah, and a lot of that is from Nolan, but I mean, obviously that's for.
The big one is the which feels Zimmer to me, like that, like just that one track feels really Zimmery. And so I like Ludwig. He's great, but
you're not on a first name basis. Don't say.
Göransson is an incredible composer.
He's Mr. Göransson, dude.
And I'm not saying that Oppenheimer's soundtrack wasn't incredible.
Spent 20 years in composing school to be called Ludwig by some guy in his loft.
I have no idea why American Fiction is here. I
don't remember anything about the music in American Fiction at all. And that's probably the one I've seen the most recently out of any of these.
I do remember the music, and I do remember really liking it. But my should win is another again, and I bet you can guess.
Poor Things.
No. Poor Things is up. My should win. My Poor Things is nominated. I wouldn't write that in the other space, Kevin. My should win is Past Lives. How is Past Lives not nominated for score? Oh my Lord. That of all of these movies, the two movies that I've gone back after the movie was over and listened to the soundtrack are Oppenheimer and Past Lives. And because Past Lives score,
make sure there's not a ghost in my house.
Oh, spooky. Past Life score was incredible, buddies. Let me catch up with chat because I haven't been paying attention to it. Barbenheimer Force multiplied each other through meme magic. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Are you saying that for score? I didn't think it felt like a Zimmer copy. That that's fair. I'm not saying that like it's a Zimmer copy, and it is very good. I don't want to discredit Göransson's work at all in Oppenheimer. I just feel it just feels strange to me that Nolan used Zimmer for so long, and Göransson has already kind of sounded Zimmery to begin with, but really sounds very Zimmery with Nolan. I don't know. Yeah, bro made the Mandalorian theme. Yeah, exactly. And
what if I just never came back after I said that? What would you do?
That would have been spooky. That would have been scary.
This would have been a horror movie.
Yeah. Like what's that horror movie where it's all just screen recordings of webcam conversations? Yeah, that one's kind of dumb. It's a cool premise though. It's a cool premise. Yeah. I like the pushing the medium. But yeah, it did look silly. Anyways, Past Lives should have been here. No reason why it's not. Poor Things also. Soundtrack and Poor Things was really great.
I think it was good for like building the world, but I wasn't like, I'm not going to go listen to it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
it's like too quirky.
Whenever you talk about each of the individual elements that are up for nominations in each one of these categories contributing to telling the story, I love that Poor Things soundtrack sounds like it almost to me feels like you're tuning an instrument, which is an interesting. It fits interestingly into the themes that Lathamos is playing with Emma Stone's character in Poor Things, with her relationship with Willem Dafoe's character and all of the other male characters in the story. That's what I picked up on as I was watching it. Was I really appreciated. I was like, oh, it feels like you're picking on a like a violin string or a guitar string while you're trying to tune it and listening for the right tune, and that felt like an interesting storytelling element to me. But I think Oppenheimer is probably going to win this one. Williams is a pretty heavyweight player in this category, and so I can easily see it going to him.
And Killers, he's not going to be around that much longer.
I know. And we've seen the Academy, we've seen that influence the Academy's decision making in the past. Killers, I think, might also win. Not that I keep on saying this, and I don't want to take away from the movie, but I think Killers might win for performative reasons as well, for really like kind of liberal reasons. But
I think it. So it's my wish will win. If it's not Indiana Jones, I want it to be Killers.
I can see a lot of the Academy going for it. It is completely deserving to win. Like I wouldn't be upset at all if it did. But I'm thinking it's probably very likely to win for those reasons. But I think Oppenheimer is the big one here that most people, because the score is just there. The score is doing a lot of heavy work throughout. We're
talking about original score still.
Original score. Thank you.
No, they were asking in the chat.
Yeah. RIP Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You have my heart. For score. It did have a great soundtrack, Guardians 3. Let's see.
There's also a score for Marvel movies.
That's true. Let's see here. We did original score. Moving on to visual effects, all the way at the bottom here. Visual effects, we got, speaking of Guardians, we have The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which apparently is not part of the title anymore, but whatever. And Napoleon for best visual effects. What are you thinking?
I think Godzilla -1 is my will and should win.
Interesting. Okay.
And then honorable mention is Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Guardians had great VFX, especially because the main character in that movie, being Rocket.
5 of the main characters in that movie
right.
are completely animated.
Right.
I mean, they did mocap.
But Rocket's emotional journey through that film is really beautifully conveyed through the animation of his character. I can easily see Guardians being really deserving of this category.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if Mission Impossible got it too, just because the effects are usually so understated.
I agree with that. This is a category that I think probably will win. I'm going to say Napoleon. I think a lot of the effects in Napoleon were really subtle, but are doing a lot of heavy labor.
I think so too. Recreating. But that's how I feel. I feel like that more about Mission Impossible. So more clearly.
I feel like Mission Impossible is such an action stunty movie, though, that the Academy might look down on it a little.
But I think also for current political reasons within the Academy, not like political reasons, but like movie political reasons, they're trying not to look down on comedies or action movies. Yeah, I can see Mission Impossible winning. I can see Godzilla winning, and I can see Guardians winning. I don't think Godzilla is terribly deserving in this category. Why? I feel like the effects felt very. I could see that they were effects a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like it That's
just
the
didn't.
Point.
I know.
So here's the beauty of Godzilla.
But like Godzilla's animation was really
look like a realistic guy in a suit from the early movies.
Yeah,
and they did it.
That's did
harder, I think.
They did, but even like the whole sequence where like he grabs the train, and there's something about the performance that's very like move and stop to me that I wasn't a big fan of.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt really phony to me. And in this category, phony feels like a real bad thing, even if it is intentional. I don't know. I can see it winning. I just wasn't a fan of snobbery.
No, you're a big fan of snobbery.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I think I can see it winning.
I think it'll win.
I wasn't a big fan of the effects.
I think everybody has been talking about it so much for that reason. But if it doesn't win, I would love for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I can easily see Guardians winning. For my Creator.
See, I never saw Creator.
Oh, that's unfortunate because it's Gareth Edwards' best movie, and it's so slept on. So many it's such the underdog. It's Gareth Edwards' best movie. It was incredible.
Wow. Speaking as someone who's seen Rogue One, I scoffed in your general direction.
Yeah, Rogue One was incredible. Not saying that it wasn't. But you know that I have opinions about the way that Rogue One ended. Like I feel like it kind of fell apart at the end, and so if it had
Dirty Dozen in space, that's how it's supposed to end.
If in my opinion it had held it together at the end a little better, that would be Gareth Edwards' best movie. But the Creator holds it together even all the way through to the end, and it's incredible. It's a very good story. It has a lot to say, not just about like, obviously a big part of the premise is artificial life, artificial intelligence, how we relate to that, artificial intelligence. Obviously, it had a big part of the premise was artificial life, artificial intelligence, how we relate to that artificial intelligence, but also like anti-imperialism. Rogue One fell apart at the end. What? Okay. Since Kevin is gone and he's heard my opinion before, I'll explain it a little bit. I do not mind at all that all the people die at the end of Rogue One. I think that
Rogue One did not fall apart at the end.
I think that was a good thing to happen for that story and a good thing for the characters. I'm not saying that that's the reason why it's bad.
Got huge.
But at the end of Rogue One, it was this weird. It just felt like they set up dominoes and then they just knocked them down one at a time. It just like so unceremoniously kills off these characters. Like it's like this one scene and a character dies at the end of it, and then this one scene and a character dies at the end of it, and then this one scene and a character dies back to back to back to back.
Is that it was too well constructed of a story. It just falls together so easily at the end. This character gets an ending. This character gets an ending.
It just was really predictable at the end, and
it's the dirty dozen in space. That's how it's supposed to end. They can't show them all dying at the same time.
I don't need that they need to die like all in the same scene. I just mean have them die along the I don't know. It just felt weird for them all to
along the progression.
One goes and then the next one goes and the next one goes.
That's what they did. They have to show you at different times. They can't split screen it into 12 screens.
Anyways, I'm not saying that they should have showed them at the same time. If anything, I'm saying that they should have spread it out over more time. But anyways, those are my
one at the very beginning.
Those are my issues with Rogue One. This movie is incredible. This movie's incredible. And Gareth Edwards. Oh crap! What is it? I can't remember. Hold on, I got to Google this because it was really cool news that I saw the other days. It was really creator is so slept on. I highly recommend it. And the effects in this movie, Blaine, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but it sounds like you got an L take here. Blaine, predictable. Yeah, you have literally seen what's about to happen. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the whole point of the movie is it's butting up against the movie that you saw 30 years ago.
Gareth Edwards is going to direct. Where was that? Oh, guess what Gareth Edwards' next thing that he's directing is?
Welcome back to the stream, Blaine.
Yeah, I figured it out. I couldn't remember. Guess what it is?
Okay. I don't know what.
The new Jurassic World movie. And those movies, those movies are awful. I cannot wait for Gareth Edwards to make a Jurassic Park movie.
I mean,
that's going to be so good. That's going to be so good.
What else are they going to do in Jurassic World?
I know. Those movies are garbage, and really that franchise just needs to let it die. But after coming off of The Creator, go watch The Creator. It was an incredible film, and the effects in this movie, this is a low budget movie, and the effects are so well done. And are such a part of the story, are such a part of the story that the creator deserves to win this.
Okay, I'm going to read Will's solid burn as Jerry Seinfeld, and we're going to move on to another.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Don't tell this guy about Revenge of the Sith. He might be frustrated because Anakin becomes Vader. I'm losing my voice, so I can't.
Yeah, it wasn't really good.
Time to try walking. Christopher Walken here, coming to you live from Shea Stadium. Yeah, see, that's the best time to do Christopher Walken is when you're like hoarse.
Oh, this is down here.
Sonic chocolate shakes. I'm my favorite shake.
That's good. Blaine doesn't like
because of my voice.
Reading the Old Testament. Oh my Lord. Okay, come on now. Let's not get crazy in here. Rogue One was excellent, and it is
Rogue One. I mean, my take is you gotta watch the ending with an open mind, Blaine.
It is the second best new Star Wars movie.
This is the best walk-in
It's very good.
I've ever had. I'm going to do the rest of it as walking.
Please don't do that. It is the best, second best new Star Wars movie.
The next category.
After
I
Last
don't
Jedi.
know. I mean, it's your stream.
Original screenplay.
Okay. Original screenplay it is.
Oh my Lord. This is going to be crazy. Original screenplay. The nominees are Anatomy of a Fall. Screenplay by Justine Triet and Arthur Harari.
Quit. Stop. Quit trying.
The Holdovers, written by David Hemmingson. Maestro, written by, I did not know this, Bradley Cooper and Josh Singer. Yeah. May December, screenplay by
Bradley
Sammy
Cooper,
Birch.
fresh young up and comer.
Story by Sammy Birch and Alex.
I'm going to do this.
Mechanic.
Until I get my voice back.
And then Past Lives, written by Celine Song. Kevin?
Oh, you said Celine Slong.
No, I did not say that.
You did.
I didn't. I said Celine Song.
You said song?
Please. I understand.
I don't know, Blaine. I mean, it's recorded for the world to see.
Celine Song.
Oh, maybe that is what you said.
Yes, original screenplay.
Holdovers.
Yeah.
Holdovers, gotta be.
I think that's what will win in this.
So that's my will win. I have a very different should win, and it's probably the same as yours. It's Past Lives.
Oh yeah, 100%. Past Lives.
Will win is Holdovers. Should win is Past Lives. Honorable mention, Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, really, really well written. The ambiguity.
But May December was crazy.
The ambiguity in Sandra Hüller's character, that's hard to write, and they do that. They do that really well.
I think it's harder to perform.
I agree with that too. May December was really, really good too. I'm surprised that May December isn't up for more categories here. We already did actor in a supporting role. Big snub is the guy in May December.
Yeah, they didn't really give him that much.
He was good. He was very
good.
What? Not much to do. The whole sequence with him getting high with his son. The whole.
They basically just told a 34-year-old just to act like you're 14. It's this.
I guess
undeveloped. Yeah.
You did. Don't clip things on this.
Oh yes,
stream.
Was I right?
Cameron,
was I right? Did it say Celine Slong?
No. He was great in that. And I think that he easily could have. I think that he deserves it more than Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. If you don't watch it, you're incriminating yourself. We'll watch clips at the end of the stream.
What?
But Anatomy of Fall was very well written. May December was very well written. I definitely think Holdovers is the winner here. Also, really, really beautifully written. Past Lives is insane that it won't win this category.
The whole thematic statement of Past Lives and turning that into an entire movie.
Oh, my God. It is so well done. And it's so hard to do original... it's so hard to do very naturalistic dialogue about big concept ideas because just naturally we don't usually talk about big concept ideas like that. But the dialogue in this is so well written, really specific and very human, his whole question of you make me bigger and I'm afraid that I don't make you bigger is just a really the whole thing where he tells her, do you think in, a future life we might be together at some point? And her response is just, I don't know. And then the lack of writing at the end for her to walk back, that's Past Lives it is so crazy that the only other nomination it got besides Best Picture is this original screenplay.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
I need to stop by 10, and I'm probably not going to have a voice by then.
Oh no, that's upsetting. I didn't realize that we were on a clock. I will definitely we'll move
We're not
a
on a
little
clock,
quicker.
but I just think I should give myself that clock so I don't
Okay. Run out of run out of speech.
I have to talk all day tomorrow. So
whoa, writing adapted screenplay. We got American Fiction, Barbie, written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. So she's here. Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. For a lot of the reasons of like Past Lives talking about like what's not written, Zone of Interest is a very strong nomination here in this category.
Yeah. It wasn't any of mine for the writing.
What? Zone of Interest?
I was waiting for your response.
Sorry.
You're making like a zone of interest type of like silence.
Yeah. I think
this one I didn't pick zone of interest for any of them. I think Oppenheimer's going to win. And Poor Things is my wish it would win, and then American Fiction was honorable mention.
Nice. I think American Fiction is winning this one. I think American Fiction is going to take it. It just feels like big bait for this category.
I think it's bait, but I'm not familiar with the original story or the material that it's based on. I'm sort of familiar. I started reading American Prometheus, and there's just so much there that they have to choose a story from. I think that's why Oppenheimer's going to.
Erasure is like another is the story that they base American Fiction on. I really, really want to read that because apparently the book and the movie are different in really significant ways. But yeah, I think Oppenheimer probably might take this. I think Poor Things is my choice here.
Poor Things is my wish it would win.
Yeah. I really, really appreciated Emma Stone's character deals with a lot in this movie and has to figure out how to talk about dealing with those things in ways that are not awkward. And so I just did that really, really well.
Yeah. Although I'm always skeptical of a movie where a director writes a part where he has sex with the actress.
That's a weird thing that he did in this one.
Yeah.
Sound. Best sound, who will win the creator for sound, Maestro, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and Zone of Interest. There is a clear winner here.
Zone of Interest. No. My Oppenheimer.
Okay.
What was your clear winner?
Zone of Interest.
Yours was Zone of Interest? That's my honorable mention. My definite is Oppenheimer because of the nuclear explosion.
That's true. It exploded.
I mean, if you saw another movie while Oppenheimer was playing, you knew that Oppenheimer was in the next theater.
That's true.
You know what my wish is Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I can see that.
Sound in Mission Impossible was always amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever won before. But.
Yeah. I very strongly agree with that. I think Zone of Interest is a will win and a should win. The sound in Zone of Interest, if you don't have the sound design that Zone of Interest has, you don't have this movie anymore. Like the sound is such a integral part of the story that's being told and is so subtly and well executed. Oh my God.
That's why it was my honorable mention. Because the sound's another character in Zone of Interest.
Yeah. there's a whole nother world happening in the background sounds whenever she's trying on the coat and you hear
She's showing her mother through the garden.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, that movie's so good. That is such an insane movie.
I can never watch it again, but I'll never forget it.
Yeah. That's such an insane movie. And it just the sound design, and it does really subtle and interesting sound design in so many places. The whenever the janitorial staff is cleaning Auschwitz at the end, the sound design there is like all that's, the sound design and cinematography is all that's in those scenes, and it's just really, really, really well done. Haven't seen Zone of Interest. You should watch it because it's incredible, and I think it's easily taking sound design here. I think that's the clear winner there. And then we have original song. Where is it? We have The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. Where the hell did this come from?
There's a Flaming Hot documentary
about Flamin' Hot Cheetos. What the hell? What a weird nomination for this. Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. I'm Just Ken from Barbie. It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Wazege, I think is how you pronounce this. Or Wazeze. A Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon. And What Was I Made For? 2 Barbie noms here. What Was I Made For from Billie Eilish. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, buddy?
I mean, I think I'm Just Ken is going to win.
Really?
I think it will win.
I can see that happening.
What I wish would win is Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I think this is a will and a should.
Yeah.
A Song for My People, the story behind the guy who writes this is incredible, and I'm so angry. I can't find a translation of the lyrics anywhere. I looked for like an hour trying to find.
Yeah, they say Wakonta a lot, which is their word for God.
Interesting. But the story behind this of going to an Osage songwriter, having them compose this work, record it with Osage people on Osage land. To express grief over, like, it just is a really beautiful way to give voice to the victims of this story. And
one of the only ways they did.
Yeah.
That's my big beef with Killers of the Flower Moon.
We'll get there whenever we get the best picture. But also a really close should for me, like I almost would click it just to not have my will and should be the same, is What Was I Made For from Barbie.
That's my honorable mention.
Yeah.
I listened to It Never Went Away and The Fire Inside, but outside the context of
I know.
I can judge it.
Yeah, I listened to them as well, and they were good songs. I haven't seen either of those movies, so. But What Was I Made For is such a not only like big part of Barbie. I'm Just Ken. It was also a good song, but feels like a weird joke win to me. It just is. It's a good movie, and it is an unserious way to voice frustrations with patriarchy. But What Was I Made For is so just intrinsically human and really beautifully written and performed. Billie Eilish is like one of the best artists working today. And
Billie Eilish, I mean, come on.
It was great.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
And this was such like a big deal. Like so many people, you heard the song on the radio. So
okay.
my point being that it was just in front of people for so long. I think that people are gonna think of this one whenever they're looking at the song.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it. I still would love for the Osage one to win.
Yeah. Next one is a really interesting category. We have, where is it?
Best picture.
No, film editing. We have for film editing. We have Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers.
Glenn, we have so much more to do.
We don't. No. Film editing, directing, actor, actress, best picture. We have 5.
That's a lot. Okay.
I know it's a lot. We're gonna get there. We're gonna end at 10 o'clock. I promise. Film editing, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. What are you thinking?
Let's say both of ours at the same time on 3 for what you think will win.
Will win?
1, 2, 3.
Oppenheimer. Yeah. 100%. I think Oppenheimer, the editing is really kind of present and a big part of moving the story forward. And so I think that this is going to win. But also, I don't know, there was a couple cuts in Oppenheimer. I feel like I saw the editing a lot in Oppenheimer in ways that
I think that's intentional, though. You think the ways you shouldn't?
Like, I don't know, there was just a couple of cuts that just felt kind of awkward in the middle of a big movement. Like a couple of those cuts in the sequence where they're about to detonate the bomb felt.
Yeah, but I think that's supposed to be jarring.
Yeah, I can give them that. I don't know. It just wasn't. I don't know.
If Oppenheimer doesn't win, what I would like to win is 1, 2, 3.
Killers of the Flower Moon. We weren't quite in sync there.
So here's my deal with Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he thinks it's really, really good. And a lot of people are saying it's his best movie. I don't think it is.
Oh, I mean, I think it's his best movie. I've said that multiple times, but I'm not a big I'm not a big fan just kind of emotionally of Scorsese. And so that's, what it is.
Yeah.
But it was great. I'm trying to remember the name of his editor, because she's the one who edits one female editor, which is great. There's Sally Menke, who did all of Tarantino's movies.
Shoemaker.
Oh, that is correct. You're right. Schumacher, however you say it.
It says Shoemaker.
Oh yeah, it's on the screen. I'm an idiot. Shoemaker.
You think I just thought of that? Oh, it's Selma Shoemaker.
That's right. She's the one who's edited like every movie for Scorsese since like Goodfellas. And she's one of the like most famous editors in the industry for a reason. Like, I think one of the strongest elements of all of Scorsese's movies have been his editing, and her editing. And I think Killers just did a really good job in specific moments of making what I was describing with Oppenheimer really intentional cuts that felt like they added to the story instead of maybe took me out of it.
You know what I felt that with is The Holdovers.
I can kind of see that. I agree with that.
Especially the part where he breaks his arm and they just stay on that long shot.
Yeah.
And he's still screaming like you don't know if it's a joke or not at first.
Right. Yeah, it was Killers has fantastic fantastic production and aesthetic, but I think the movie part wasn't up to it. Okay, well, I will have to disagree on that one because Killers is one of my favorite movies of the year. It's incredible. I love it a lot. Also, though, that reminded me, one thing that I didn't mention whenever we were at VFX is the killer. I can't believe that didn't go up for VFX.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that, that this whole sequence where he's on the moped, like escaping the scene, is just completely part of VFX. Practical. No, the opposite. I was floored whenever I saw that. I just never imagined, and it is incredible. I can't imagine how that didn't get nominated. But yeah, for editing, I think I really liked Killers. I think Oppenheimer is the one that's going to win here, though. Now, real big categories here. We have direction. We have Anatomy
North,
of a
South,
Fall.
East, and West. They're nominated every year. Which one's going to get it?
Anatomy of a Fall, directed by Justine Triet. Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese. Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan. Poor Things, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. And The Zone of Interest, directed by Jonathan Glazer. What do you think?
1, 2, 3.
Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest is my wish. Oppenheimer is what I think will.
Yeah, that's probably right. The direction in Zone of Interest was unbelievable. Like I said before, just the cutting edge of visual storytelling. It really breaks conventional film language in ways that were just really interesting. I really appreciated Glazer's direction, and I was worried about it because I wasn't a big fan of Under the Skin.
I hated Under the Skin.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything else that he's done that I just liked or that was that well known.
Yeah.
As well known as this has been. Alamo Drafthouse did this thing where it showed clips of like 6 of his other movies. I'm like, none of these look like things that I would just go out and see.
Yeah, the only other one I've seen from him is Under the Skin. And so I was a little worried about it going into it, and this was incredible. I think it's a definite should win. I think I might change and agree with you on Oppenheimer because Nolan is such a big name and it was such a big movie, and the direction is a big part of it.
Yeah, I agree with everyone saying that this is his best movie he's ever done. It has some competition.
I do really agree with that as well. Oppenheimer was very, very good. I also think this is kind of a hard category. I think Zone of Interest could win this. I think Oppenheimer is probably more likely. I think Poor Things is very likely to win this as well.
Poor Things was my honorable mention. Oppenheimer will. Zone of Interest should. Poor Things honorable mention.
And I think Killers is very, very strong direction as well.
I think everybody thinks that, but I think that too, but I just didn't like it apparently as much as everybody else did.
But also Killers, I think, has going for it some of the things that I was saying before of one, it's Scorsese. And so Scorsese is a big heavyweight in that category. Two, it's, I think you might get some performative votes for Killers in a lot of these categories, but I think Oppenheimer was so big and so in front of people and was genuinely really, really well made that I think it's going to be a big winner. And I think it'll probably take this. I think that's probably right. Even though I think Zone of Interest is very likely as well.
I think if I hadn't read the book and known
that is a big factor.
What the Osage advisors thought of the movie, maybe I would feel differently about.
Yeah. And this is probably
they came out like almost immediately saying, hey, this wasn't from our perspective at all.
Right. And we've talked about that before.
The atrocities, which is good, but
I agree with that it does
like
feel
the book's not even from the perspective of the Hales.
Right. From what I understand, the book is more about the overall scope of the atrocity, and the Hales is one aspect of it. And Scorsese really zoomed in and focused on, made a story about
the white characters.
Yeah, the Hales, which does feel bad. I think that a lot of Scorsese's thinking in this moment is he's not Osage, and is in a way trying to make atonement for the guilt of his people, his ancestors in this moment by telling these stories in such a way that
and I think you can't. I think that's probably why it came off as tone deaf to actual indigenous people, because you can't. You can't
lament the actions of your ancestors.
But you can't make atonement for it. You can't make up for it.
Yeah, so, I agree with that. That's a poor choice of words, I think.
And so why not let why not get an Osage writer?
Yeah.
David Grand is not an Osage writer. He was writing from a white person's perspective too. And he focused on things that probably the Osage wouldn't care about, like the beginning of the FBI, which wasn't even in the movie either. Tom White, the guy, Jesse Plemons, who plays the guy who actually unravels the whole thing. That's a whole fascinating story about the beginning of the FBI too. They could have gone that direction. They didn't. And that would have been better, but they chose to focus on a super specific, like the villains are the main characters of the movie.
And
right?
I would probably
Molly Burkhart should be the main character.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I probably would agree with you even more if I had read the book, like you're saying, and seen just how much the book is not about these characters. So I agree with that in a lot of ways. And I think that probably it's a misstep to have told the story in the way that he did. The villains being main characters of stories is kind of a current trend, for better or worse. Sure.
That is true. And I think it's mostly true in nonfiction. I mean, in fiction. Yeah.
I
don't know many nonfiction. Well, actually, that's not true. So like they did the whole Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
That were Zac Efron was the main character, and then they did
kind
Dahmer,
of icky.
Yeah. So that is true. You're right. Even in nonfiction.
But I agree with you, and I probably would agree with you more if I had read the book, which I do want to do. I really want to read that. I really want to read Erasure. Erasure by for American Fiction, and I really want to read The Color Purple. After watching The Color Purple today, I did not realize that.
You didn't read The Color Purple in school?
No, I went to a small private Christian school, and so I read Heidi, not The Color Purple. But
there's anything wrong with Heidi.
I didn't realize that Celie in The Color Purple is gay, and like a huge part of that story is her talking about and exploring and trying to understand her gayness and how she fits into a patriarchal world model. This recent movie, the adaptation of the Broadway show, pushed those elements a lot further, and I remember them being more subtle in Spielberg's version.
I don't even remember that from Spielberg's version.
In Spielberg's version, Celie and Shug Avery they kiss in that one scene, but it almost feels like the subtext that Spielberg is trying to push there is that Celie is so deprived of love and affection that she seeks that out, in any way that she can, any way that she sees. But apparently Alice Walker is the Black bisexual author of The Color Purple, and in The Color Purple, like very explicitly wrestles with ideas of queer identity and it sounds really interesting because she wrestles with that. She wrestles with Black history, but also with like really interesting theological ideas in The Color Purple that I didn't realize were big themes that story was playing with. And so, top of my like really want to read books right now is The Color Purple. Anyways, diversion that we didn't have time for. Actor.
Look, a diversion.
Actor in a leading role, we have Bradley Cooper as Leonard Bernstein in Maestro.
Leonard, some would say.
And isn't it Bernstein?
It is Bernstein.
Yeah. Coleman Domingo, which another interesting was in Color Purple. I didn't know that. Coleman Domingo as Bynard Rustin in Rustin. Paul Giamatti as but they say Bynard in Rustin.
I thought they say Baynard.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. Paul Giamatti as Paul Hunman, in The Holdovers. Cillian Murphy
You're just going to mispronounce every name.
Yeah. Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer in Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey
As
Wright.
Robert Oppenheimer.
Jeffrey Wright in as Thelonious Monk Ellison in American Fiction. What are you thinking?
1, 2, 3.
Paul Giamatti. Oh,
he's my wish. Paul Giamatti's my wish. I think.
I agree. I can very easily see Cillian Murphy winning here. I think Paul Giamatti's performance in The Holdovers is fantastic. I think he's so long overdue for getting this award that you might get like speaking of which, actor that's not here is Leonardo DiCaprio in
Leonardo
Killers.
DiCaprio.
How did that not happen?
And you know who else? Zac Efron.
I will very much agree with that. Iron Claw was a big snub at the Oscars too. Yeah. There were so many categories that Iron Claw could have: cinematography, writing,
supporting actor, also.
Yeah, there were so many categories that Iron Claw could have done. Could have done really well in, and didn't. But I think Paul Giamatti is going to take it here. And I think Paul Giamatti should take it here. But I can easily see Cillian Murphy doing it. And Coleman Domingo was really good as Rustin.
He was good. Rustin, they just didn't give him that. I mean,
yeah,
they were trying to tell such a big story. They kind of like glossed over the vignettes. And I can't remember who the guy who played MLK, but I think it helps more if you have something to play off of, and he really didn't.
Yeah. But Coleman Domingo is Mr. in Color Purple. And the range of characters between Baynard Rustin and Mr. from The Color Purple is really interesting for him to do in the same year. But yeah, it was, I think Paul Giamatti's taking that one. And then actress in a leading role.
1, 2,
wait.
3. You haven't done this one yet?
No, go ahead. Count again.
1, 2, 3.
Emma Stone. Yeah. I think that's a big one here. This is a hard one as well.
My wish is Lily Gladstone.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Lily Gladstone was really, really incredible in this.
Honorable mention is Sandra Hüller.
Ooh.
And not Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, I thought Carey Mulligan was really good in Maestro.
I think she was the best part of Maestro. Maestro didn't do it for me.
I really liked Annette Bening's performance in Naiad. I thought that she was incredible. And so, like, Annette Bening and Lily Gladstone are really close for me for should.
I would agree with that. Yeah. They're probably right up there. Although, I think I would put Sandra Hüller above Annette Bening.
Interesting. That is true. The ambiguity of her. That is very true.
What Sandra Hüller did.
Yeah. But I kind of think Emma Stone is really, really deserving of this award. I almost want to put her for should as well as will, but my should is going to be an other one. Somebody who I feel like got majorly snubbed here is, I bet you can guess,
Margot Robbie.
Also kind of a snub. Greta Lee. Greta Lee in Past Lives was unbelievable. Was unbelievably good.
I feel like that for her and for, you could say that both of those guys got snubbed from Past Lives for supporting lead actor. Also, for actor, the guy from Perfect Days, I don't know his name.
Oh yeah.
Definitely could have been nominated for lead actor.
Even though I don't think it works that way. I don't think a foreign film.
Sometimes they
Maybe.
do because Life is Roberto Benigni. I think if it's nominated for
Maybe.
Best Picture, you can. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Because I think Roberto Benigni won for Life is Beautiful.
Hmm.
The famous standing on the chairs.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Greta Lee. It is crazy to me that Greta Lee was not at least nominated. I feel like Emma Stone maybe deserves it for Poor Things a little bit more than Greta Lee does, but the fact that she wasn't in the nominations is what's making me write down Greta Lee. But Emma Stone's performance in Poor Things is to be like vulnerable in front of a camera in that way is
nobody
hard work, and did it so well, so like subtly, but like it's this big abstract performance in a lot of ways, but it just has this real small detail level of subtlety to it. It was good. It was incredible.
Yeah. Well, to go from having to act like an infant to acting, and everywhere in between.
Yeah, it's hard.
I can't read the last half of whoever this is.
Oh, Kevin, that's Twitch clip. That's Joseph.
Okay.
Kevin, it's so weird. Last time I saw you, you were bald. That's true.
I sat in a room and thought. Hairy thoughts.
But yeah, Greta
Lee
Lee can't believe she was not nominated here. All right, the big one, last one of the night, is Best Picture.
Best Picture.
We got 10 movies for Best Picture here.
Walken coming to you live from wherever the Oscars are being broadcast from.
American Fiction. Anatomy of a Fall. Okay. Anatomy of a Fall. Barbie. The Holdovers. Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh my God.
Don't kill that flower moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Maestro.
Encore, baby.
Oppenheimer.
Nothing.
Past Lives. Past Lives. Poor Things.
Rich Things.
And The Zone of Interest.
No jokes there.
Yeah, it would be a mistake to throw a joke in on that one.
I did not do that.
Good. What do you think, Kevin? What do you think?
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Wait. I have to. Yeah, You're right.
We have to think about. Did you not prepare at all?
I did prepare.
No.
I did prepare, but I don't. This is a hard one. There are a lot of really Zone of Interest.
Yeah, this is the most as hard as production design was. This is the hardest. I can't, and I think I talked to you about this the other day. I can't remember another year where I was like, any one of these could win. Yeah, I do think Oppenheimer's going to win.
Yeah, that feels.
And I can't decide what my wish. Like, I loved Oppenheimer. Obviously, I think it was probably the best movie I saw last year. But my wish goes back and forth between Poor Things and Past Lives.
Yeah,
of what I want to win.
Poor Things. There's no way Past Lives is going to win. In this list, stacked this way.
I mean, this is purely wish. I think Poor Things could win.
I agree. That's my should win is Past Lives. I think of all the movies that I saw this year, Past Lives was the best one. Past Lives was incredible. So
like what was up against Green Book when Green Book won? I completely did not expect Green Book to win at all.
Yeah.
And so it could be one of those years. I have no idea.
Yeah.
One of those years, I think it might be Holdovers or Zone of Interest.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I'll look it up later. But yeah, this is a stacked list, and Zone of Interest.
Killers of the Flower Moon also might.
Yeah. Zone of Interest.
I don't think Maestro or American Fiction or
No, I agree with that.
Maybe Barbie.
Even though American Fiction feels real baity here, I can see Barbie winning it. I can see Barbie winning it. I feel like Anatomy of a Fall is too little known to get the vote for Best Picture. Even though it did get the vote to be in the consideration for Best Picture. Barbie, I can see winning it. Killers, I can see winning it. Oppenheimer, I think, is a very strong contender for winning it. Poor Things is just really, really well tailored and crafted. Every detail of that movie is really specifically made very, very well, that I can easily see. Poor Things is extremely deserving, and I can easily see it winning. Zone of Interest is the same way, but really pushes the way that story is told, really pushes the medium of cinematic storytelling, and so deeply addresses atrocities of the past and evil of the human heart and the way that it affects our lives and our culture and our society and families. Zone of Interest was incredible, and I can easily see it winning. But I think that you're probably right. I think that Oppenheimer is just statistically.
That's kind of right.
I think that Oppenheimer is probably the winner here. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I mean,
become death, destroyer of worlds.
I'm not going to say I'm going to be sad if Oppenheimer wins, but there will be a little part of me that just feels like it feels like such the obvious choice in a spread of movies that are all so good, that I would rather it go to a less obvious choice that was just as well put together as Oppenheimer was. You know what I mean? I just think
this is going to be one of those Lord of the Rings years where Oppenheimer gets most of it.
Yeah. And it's so baity. It is a very, very well told story, well made movie, but it is like the definition of Oscar bait. And that works. So
bait catches fish.
That's true. But if you are able to catch a fish without bait, some might call your accomplishment even more impressive, which is why.
Not if you're just one of those hillbillies in Mississippi that sticks their arm in a hole.
Which is why I would be really, really excited to see Poor Things or Zone of Interest win. I would be really happy to see Killers win.
Also, Iron Claw should be in here.
Iron Claw, I think Iron Claw should be in here over Anatomy of a Fall.
Let's not go crazy.
I think out of these, Anatomy of a Fall was my least favorite. It was an incredible movie.
Really? Yeah. I think out of these, maybe Maestro was my least favorite.
Ooh, that's probably true. Actually, you're probably right.
I think it was technically very well done. I think Bradley Cooper was amazing.
Yeah.
And if there wasn't so much other competition, I think he'd be more a part of what I would want to talk about for leading actor in a leading role, but
it just didn't come together.
I don't think it should be Best Picture.
No, I agree with that. So probably kick Maestro in order to make room for Iron Claw. But Anatomy of a Fall was really good. I mean, really, really, really good. But I just didn't, I just didn't see it making my list for Best Picture. But yeah, I think Oppenheimer probably will. I think you're probably right. But Past Lives, if you have not seen Past Lives, I cannot recommend it enough. Unbelievably good movie. Awesome. Kevin, I told you we would finish before 10.
We did it. It's 9:51.
Yeah. Thank you so much, buddy, for giving up all your time and doing the hard work of watching all these movies.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure.
No, that's not necessary for you to do. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for March 10th.
March 10th. Guys on the flippity.
March 10th, we are watching the Oscars live. And the way that it's going to work is you're going to see me and Kevin on the screen, and behind us is going to be the Oscars, but it's going to be blurred. So you won't be able to see it clearly or hear it.
Wait, are we going to have to keep going like this? Like, look.
No. And Kevin, you're going to be here to watch it. That'll be exciting. Oh,
tell the public my plans.
I didn't. I don't know what I'm talking about. But it'll be exciting. It's going to be very good. Wait, can you grade my predictions? I think. I don't know if I can actually see that. Now that I'm.
Is Will saying rate me?
Yeah, you want to throw.
Remember in the way back where Steve Carell says, "Hey, what do you think of yourself? Scale of 1 to 10." When he's talking to the kid in the back seat, he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I think you're a 3."
I have not seen that movie, but that sounds hilarious.
Jim Rash and Nat Faxon wrote that. The same people who wrote The Descendants. Whoa. And you know who Jim Rash is? You know who Jim Rash is?
Of course, I know who Jim Rash is.
The dean from Community.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Gay dean.
I'm asking you to be a gay dean for the school board. It's loading the responses, Will. Give me a second. But
Will,
yeah, March 10th. William Bradford Young. I'm so sorry I doxed you. Let's see. It doesn't show me. Oh, here we go. Individual. Oh, here we go. Do we want to look at Will's picks? I mean, we don't probably have time for that. But just to peruse them slightly, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer should. Okay, well, so that feels pretty unserious. Paul Rudd as Scott Lang in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Oh, well, it's going to be jokes, and no.
Actor in a supporting role, Michael Keaton as Batman in The Flash.
No.
Actress in a leading role, Selma Hayek as Mexandra Mendoza in Magic Mike's Last Dance. These are good. These are good.
Well, this is a serious venue.
Yeah, well, be serious here.
Also, now everyone knows how many times you watch Magic Mike.
That's great. But yeah, I think we had to be done, buddies. Like I said, Kevin, thank you so much for being here. Come and watch on the 10th, whenever we're live react to the Oscars. Oh, that's what I was saying was you won't be able to watch the Oscars on the stream for copyright reasons, obviously. So you'll have to like put it on your TV and then just have the stream going in the background next to you. But you'll be able to see
they get it
blurry in the background what point of the Oscars we're in. So anyways,
no one's worried about it.
Thank you, buddies, so much for watching. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. I'm so excited. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hanging up now. We're ending the stream. Thank you, buddies. See ya. I made Kevin laugh, but he didn't want to admit it. he hid that laugh.
I don't think this is not admitting it or not. It's just
my Lord. Okay. Goodbye.